couple of eggs today. I got eggs last year, girls, from Hobby Lobby. These, the big ones. I'm going to show you these over here. Let me get one of these. Okay, this is one of the larger ones. See, this one's pretty good size. I did this one this week in my private class. We did this one. So that's one of the bigger ones. And those large ones came from Hobby Lobby. Got one right over here, and I'm going to show you how they work. Okay? They're not in Hobby Lobby yet, in our Hobby Lobby yet this year. So I always, the end of the year, or when I get them, I buy a bunch of them. So usually whatever I have enough for a couple of years to get through. Okay, so that's what I've done. These are eggs that I had last year. I went into Hobby Lobby this week, and ours still doesn't have any eggs in, okay? But this little stand comes from Hobby Lobby also. They have these every season. They just change the colors on them. These are $2.99, and of course spring things right now is 40% off, so you can get them. I bought these last year too, but that's the little base that I have this egg on, and these you will find in Hobby Lobby. And when you see the eggs in Hobby Lobby, if you go over to the Easter decor, Easter decorations, you will find the eggs like this. They come in all different colors. They're pastel. They have a hole in the bottom of them, so you could even put them on a stick if you wanted to work on them that way, you know, if you were doing something and want them on. So I guess really they are hard, very, very hard styrofoam, because they can be dented. I put a little dent in this one there I seen the other day, which won't make a difference when when I get it done. But they can, you can make a dent in them. But I get them in all different colors. I'm looking over here at a purple one, the pink one. You get them in yellow. You get them in all different colors, and I just paint them white. Now, I glued this to the base, but I turned the base upside down. I turned this upside down, and you need, when you buy these, see this one's not real smooth on the right-hand side, and this one may give me a little problem. Hello, Regina. They're not paper mache, Esther. No, they're not paper mache. They are, I think they're styrofoam. See, they're real heavy. Paper mache's hollow inside. They're not hollow. They're very sturdy, so I think they are styrofoam. Just by looking at them, I can look in there, but it's a real hard, compact styrofoam. And like I said, you'll get them in all different colors. Now, when you buy these, see, I didn't pay attention to that one. I may have to fill this in a little bit here with some clay to level that up, because I want that bottom to be level. When I glue it on there, see, I want it to set on that base, to glue it right on there, to put it on that base, okay? So only thing I do is take Gorilla Glue, and I glue that right down on that base. But if that little edge there is not, if it's not solid across through there, then it'll be a problem. So you either have to take you some clay and fill that in, or make sure when you purchase these that the ones you get are solid. I have 2 or 3 that aren't, but most of the time they are. You could glue it on this way. You could put it on, or you could just set it on there. If you don't want to glue it down, you could make sure this bottom is good and flat. You could sand that a little bit and make sure that's good and flat. Hi, Debbie. Hello from Portugal. We're glad to see you. Glad to have you with us. Can't see you, but glad to have you here. But you want to make sure this is good and flat if you're going to set it on there, because you want it to hold. Okay? And then, too, I have glued them onto these. These are little wooden. These are candlesticks, wooden candlesticks. And I have got these before at Hobby Lobby, but I've not seen them there in a long time. This is just a little wooden candlestick. It's about 4 inches tall. And I glued that egg onto the top of that candlestick. And then I like them to sit on a base. I like the ones that sit better than I like the ones that hang like this one. These are pretty, but I like the ones, for myself, I would prefer the ones that sit, because you can put them more in a display. And you don't have to do them with Easter stuff on them. See, this one's got birds on it. You don't have to put that away after Easter. If you've got a display in your house and you want to use that, you're fine to use it after Easter. Okay? Now, I did that, and the one we're going to do today, I'm going to set this one back. The one we're going to do today is plastic, and they came from Amazon. If you'll go on to Amazon, and look in them. Just go in there and put in plastic eggs. They come in 2 pieces like this. They come 2 pieces and they fit together. So this is what this yellow egg is, this one from Amazon. And I got these in this size, and I got them in the larger size. Over here's a big one. Okay, this is a big one. And they're flat on the bottom. So you could glue them to a base. They are made till they're flat on the bottom. That just popped apart on me. You have to put them, when you get them done, you want to glue them together. Whatever you're doing, you want to put some glue on that and glue them together, you know, to get them to stay good. But you can get these on Amazon. This is probably a 6-inch egg, and I'd say that one's a 3 to 3.5 inch egg. Is, you know, so you just go on Amazon, and okay, this just says 3 clear plastic eggs. It don't say what size they are. What you need? I'm on a class.
I can't get this off.
Okay, come over here. I gotta help Morgan here just a minute. She's trying to get a necklace off. Watch my egg there.
I don't have a thumb to get off.
Okay, there you go. Okay, you're welcome, honey. She just come in from school. She's trying to take a necklace off and can't get it off. Okay, so this is the larger one, and this is the smaller one. The smaller one's the one we're going to work on. Okay, so I'm going to put that one over here out of the way. Now, I chose me some, this time I'm going to put flowers on this one. Like I said, you don't have to put them up after Easter, so, you know, you can keep them a while out. Hi, Nina. Miss Debbie, if I miss your comments, girls, you know, it's hard for me to work and read all the comments too, but I always go back and read them. So if you put any questions in there, some of my girls are in here, will be in here, usually Peggy, if she's in here. I don't know if she's in here yet. Wanda, that helps me too with questions and stuff, she's had therapy today, so she's not here. But they can usually answer a lot of questions for you too. So if you ask something, they're in here, they'll answer for you. Or I'll answer your questions when we're finished. I'll go back and read all the questions, and you can always shoot me a message and ask me something if you need to know something. This is what I'm going to work on today. And I printed this, I designed this on a sheet with a blue. I used a pale blue background on those, and I put those flowers because when I put this one on, I had to go in. This is a smaller one. I had to go in and paint all that around that design there. Let me take that off there so I can show you. See, when I put that little rabbit in there, I had to go back in and paint all this little design because I wanted them to be even. You know, I wanted to have 2 of them even on each side. So, and then I've just put a ribbon on the top. So this time I thought I would put my flower on a blue background, and then when I put it on the egg, I won't have to do a lot of painting to put it on there. Now, these eggs are clear, and they're like, you know, they're plastic, so you have to prime them before you put your white paint on. And what I prime with, what I put on my things as primer is called, this is All-Purpose Sealer by Chromia, C-H-R-O-M-A, and it's a Jo Sonia product. They use her name. She's a folk artist from way back, and I use a lot of products that are put out by her. She was back in business when I was young, you know, when I started. I started in the painting business when I was 26 years old, and I'm not going to tell you how old I am today, but you can probably tell by looking at me. Not 26, long time ago. But this is what I use. This is all-purpose sealer. I use it if I'm painting glass. If I'm painting a mirror or something and it's a glass tray and I don't want to get paint on the outside of it, then this is what I use. But if I'm painting something that I don't care if it's white all over, I use spray paint. So if you spray, you don't have to use this. But this, you just put you a little bit out in a container, and when you paint it on the egg, when you paint it on here, it paints on white. Let's see if I can, let me find me a brush here. And I'll show you on this other egg. See, I will be painting this one. So if I put this on my brush and I paint it on my egg, it paints on white. So you're able to tell where you've went. you know, you're able to go over that and paint it completely, and it dries real quick. 5 minutes, you know, of course you can dry it with your dryer, but 5 minutes it's dry anyway. I'll go ahead and paint that one real quick and get it out of the way. Hey, Miss Emma. I put one coat on that, and that seals that glass, plastic, whatever you want to seal. It will seal it for you, and then you can go right back in and put your paint on there. Okay? So I've got one coat of paint. I'm going to lay that one back over there out of my way, and I'm going to get me out some white paint. Now I can just paint it with plain old white paint from, this happens to be Americana that I'm going to use now. Let me set this egg back here. I'm going to put out a little bit of white, and I'm going to paint my egg all over. It's going to get painted all over, you know, anyway again, but I want it to be white to put my decoupage on. Find me a brush here. Okay, I'm going to paint my egg white. Doesn't have to look pretty. You just need to get a coat on there as a, you know, as a background. I've been sitting here the last little while playing with clay to, you know, to do another one, but I'll show you what I've put on there. When you're working with clay, it's hard to do one class and do the clay and all, because you got to let it dry, you know. So if we do something with clay, it has to be done and then you know, finish it the next day, because you can't just do it and take off with it. You got, before you can paint it, you got to let it dry. Okay, I've just put one coat of white on that one, and I'm going to do the same on this other one. They will dry real quick. This is not a hard project. This is very simple, very easy to do. Very good for beginners. How do you resize my prints? Donna, I did those on my, okay, you asked me that in the private group. When you print on your printer, Donna, there is a program that comes with every printer. When you installed your printer on your machine for whatever, you know, you're printing with, laptop or desktop or whatever. I use desktop. That's my go-to for all my work, is my desktop. When you pull that program up, it's on your printer, it gives you the option of what size you want to print that picture. If you've got a full-size picture, you've bought a download and it's full size, you can print that in 8x10, 2 5x7s, 2 4x6, 4 3.5x5s, or all the way down to 9 of the little bitty pictures on a page. Of course, you have to duplicate, you know, you have to duplicate your item if you're trying to put all of that on the same design on there, or you can mix them up. You could go into your file and choose 6 pictures or 4 pictures and print them on a page, and you would get 4 on here, 4 3x5s. Now these pages, I made them this way. I went in and redesigned this, and I filled the page with the flowers, and then I made it so when you print out a full page, you're getting small designs. That's what I've done here. Let me show you another one. I've printed another one here. See, this one's got 2 on a page, and I didn't want them to be 5x7 or 4x6, so I went into my program, which most of my designing's done with Canva. And I put them in that way on the paper, and I printed these on mulberry paper. And mulberry paper you can find on Amazon to use it, but when you put it through your printer, you must attach it to another sheet of regular paper, put it 2 pieces together, and put you something. I use a little bit of spray glue on there, or you can use the tape guns like we use with scrapbooking, and attach those 2 together, because this paper is way too thin to go through your printer by itself. Now rice paper, I can get rice paper to go through my printer by itself, but not the mulberry paper. Okay, now see, this one was printed out as a whole sheet. No, this has got 4 on it. See, this has got 4 to a page. So, and some of these, like I said, if you're interested today in one of these sheets, to purchase one of these sheets, they're $2.25, and you can message me, and I will send you an invoice, and then I will send it to you through your email or either through your messenger. And you'll get a digital design that you can use on your own, with your own printer. Learning to print your own designs and doing that is, opens up a whole new world for you when you can print your own designs. Okay, Donna, I posted it in the group. When you asked me that the other day, I explained that. Go back in the group and look, and you'll see that, where I explained it to you. Okay? But now most of the time, these are just odd sizes, and I've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 on this one page. I've got 9 designs. Now I'm going to choose 2 of these. See, my eggs are already dry, and you've got to make sure you remember the top like that. And I'm going to work on them a little bit by themselves in halves before I glue them together, and then I'll glue them together. We'll put my 2 designs on them. So I'm going to choose 2 of these flowers to go on this egg, and I want 2 fairly small ones. So I'm going to take this one, this blue one here. I'm going to take 2 out of here, and I'm going to do that with a water brush. Okay? I'm going to take me a brush and go right in my water and take out the flower. Okay? Go right around here, put some water on that flower, and go right around it. Okay. Get it wet, and then just take your fingers and pull it right out of there. This, you can buy mulberry paper. What I cover bottles with, I buy from mulberrypaperandmore.com, and it's the 25 GSM, but this is a lot thinner, and you get a better deal buying this one on Amazon. I think you get about 20 in a package of this on Amazon, and it's already 8.5 by 11, the standard size of your printer paper. Okay, now I've took that one out, got one there, and I'm going to take me another one out. Okay, I think I'll take this one right down below it. Okay, let me see here a minute, girls. I got to find me a tissue here. I got to blow my nose. I've had sinuses bothering me. Excuse me just a minute here. I've had sinus problems for the last 2 weeks, and they're driving me nuts. Okay. You can use a water pen or a brush. I grab a brush. I've got water pens. Hey, there's Miss Peggy. She can usually tell you what I do. She knows as much about it as I do. So if there's something you ask, she'll watch out, she'll keep up and answer it for you. Her and Wanda both are great at that. See, I took two pieces out of there. I'm going to lay that one back. Now, I'm going to come back over to my egg here and see, to get these to lay down flat, I use Mod Podge, which is just, plain old Mod Podge, and I've got a little bit of water in it. Let me mix that up a little bit. I put it in a little cup like that, so as I don't want to use all that great big bottle of stuff. I buy it by the gallon. Okay. Okay. Now, I need to get this to curve. This egg is curved, as you know. It's going to go around this way. So to get it to curve, I'm going to tear into it. I'm just going to go in here, and I'm going to go around the design, and I'm going to rip it a little bit toward the middle. See here how I've just ripped it? I've got it tears in it all the way. That'll help it. That'll make it lay down, overlap each other. You won't even know that it's been ripped. Okay? Now I'm going to put me a little bit of Mod Podge on my, I'll just call it my glue. I'm going to put me a little bit of glue on my egg. Okay, I'm going to put me a little bit of glue on my egg. Okay, now I need to get this to lay down flat. I use Mod Podge, which is just, plain old Mod Podge, and I've got a little bit of water in it. Let me mix that up a little bit. Now, I'm going to come back over to my egg here and see, to get this to lay down flat, I use And then I'm going to pick up my design and lay it right in here where I need it to go. And I'm going to start right in the middle of the egg. See, I've got it right here in the middle. I just glued it down in the middle a little bit. Now I'm going to take a little bit of glue on my brush and work it to the sides. And it will lay down flat since you've got those rips in it, since you've got it ripped apart like that. Okay. Go all the way around with it. This mulberry paper is fantastic for working on thin things like this, and it lays down so easy, so much easier. You can bend it and manipulate it a lot easier than you can rice paper, and you won't have the wrinkles. Okay. Okay, now I've got the one side on there, and I'm going to go back in and put my other one on the other side. I'm going to tear this one too. You can make as many tears as you need to. It's not important if you know that you can't ever make too many. So, the more you make, the easier it is to lay it down. Okay, now just be sure you got the tops of your eggs, to match up there. So when you put it on you don't put it on upside down. Okay. Now I'm going to lay that one down on there and do the same. Everybody's awful quiet. Sometimes I can't even see my messages, so I hope I'm seeing what if you're putting something in there, I hope I'm seeing it. Facebook is so screwed up nowadays, it's hard, everything. We've been deleting, when we get guys, we have guys stop in and trolls, we call them, and now somebody posted this morning that you no longer can delete them, that they won't go out when you try to delete them out of your messages. So that'd be a problem. Okay, now I've got 2 halves done. And I'm ready. I'm going to go right ahead now. I'm going to dry these real quick. Then I'm going to glue them together. And that's really the only thing I need my glue for. So I'm going to just put a lid on it and set it aside. And I'm going to get my dryer real quick here. And quickly I'm going to dry these 2. Now you could do reverse decoupage on these plastic eggs. You put your design down in here. I worked on one a little bit this morning. See this little bunny? I've got some little bunnies laying in there in clay. See her, how I put her back in there? I put her on paper first, and then I put her back in there. And then I'm going to decorate down under here where she's sitting. I need some little miniature things from the Dollar Tree for Easter things and a little bit of Easter grass. I don't know if I've got any here or not. Probably do somewhere. But I'm going to put that in the bottom and then decorate her. And then glue the two pieces together and not do anything on the front of it, but I will paint and decorate the back so that it's dark in the back. And then you'll be able to see her when you set her in the stand or whatever. She'll be, you know, like she's under glass. So you can do that. And you can do that on these little eggs too. You can do the reverse. You can put your design in here and then, you know, put them together and have your design on the inside. Then you would just be working on the back. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and put these two together, and I'm going to glue them so they'll be out of my way to glue them. I'm using a little bit of diamond glaze as my glue. You can use any kind of glue you want, but I'm just going to go around this egg and put me a little tad of glue on there. Just a little bit. Okay. Now I'm going to put them together. Get the two tabs at the top together. They line up at the top. Okay. And I'm going to put some bling around here, so I really don't even have to paint that. You don't even have to go back in there and paint that. Because when I went around this egg, see how I put the bling around the middle? So you don't even have to go back in and paint that. You can if you want to, but you don't have to. So I've got them glued together, ready to go. I got too much junk sitting around here. Okay. Now I'm going to take me a blue. First I'm going to take me a pencil, and I'm going to edge me a little bit of a line down through here so I'll know how far over I want to go. Won't matter. Won't matter. I'm not going to do that. It won't matter. Okay, I'm going to get me a blue that's kind of like this blue right here. And I'm going to use that. I'm going to pat a little bit of color in there with some blues and some white and carry that color out just a little bit. Okay. I could take it all the way out to the, you know, and let it meet in the middle. It won't be a big deal because I'm going to put another color in there and then I'm going to put the bling on them. So I've just chose a couple of shades of blue and I'm going to put some white with them on my palette. I've got some white paint out here and I'm just going to take my brush, a little bit of my painting medium. I use this Josania's glazing medium. I'm going to put out a little bit of that to help move my paint, just a few drops. So I've just got a few drops of paint and a few drops of that painting medium on my palette here. Let me get it over here and you'll be able to see what I'm doing. Put this on this side. See here, I've got my paints right down here. Now I'm going to put a little bit of medium on my brush. Doesn't matter what kind of brush you use, just a soft brush of some kind. Pick up a little bit of medium, a little bit of blue, mix a little bit of white in it. Just make me a lighter shade of that blue. Mixing the painting medium, the white, and the blue. And I'm just going to go in here and dab this on here and try to get it to match that blue color that's on there as close as I can. Just to carry that color out a little bit and lose that line that I've got on there. You can put it on with your brush and then you can take your fingers and just pat it a little bit and blend it in there a little. All I'm doing is just carrying that out a little bit. And then we're going to put a stripe down through there of a different shade. We'll use some blue, maybe some blue metallic. Go all the way around with it. Everybody's asleep today, or I'm not seeing messages one, because I'm not seeing a thing. If that's the case, girls, and you've put something in there, like I said, they're not showing up on my tablet. Come right up close into your flowers. Just bring that blue right up through there. Okay, now see, I've just carried that blue right on out there a little bit. Okay, now I see this little spot right here I need to get out a little bit farther. Okay, now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. We'll flip it over, go back over to this side, and do the same thing over here with my colors. Just kind of dabbing it on, patting it in. Whatever the color is that's around your print, that's what colors you want to work with. Whatever's in that print, then that's what you want to try to carry out a little bit to, to blend it out a little bit. And the flowers, if these flowers were real dull, they're pretty sharp colors, so I'm not going to mess with them much. But you can always go in and repaint flowers and add little leaves and do all that stuff too if you want to really work with it, or you got some that you need to, you can always do that. I put a new video on YouTube today, another one, and it's painting rabbits. Go over and visit my YouTube page. Okay. Okay, see, I've got that side done, and I've got the other side done. Now I'm going to take me a pencil, and I'm going to try to get me a pretty good line down there on each side that kind of evens out the equal parts on each side, what I'm going to paint down through there. So I'm going to start right up here with my pencil. If you do little bitty choppy strokes, you can get all the way around there without any problems, okay? And you can make you a straight line. But if you try to draw a top to bottom line, there's no way you're going to get it straight. So I'm going to go right in here and just edge that right down around. And I'm going to work my way all the way around the egg. Now I think I'll reverse and go back up here and start at the top again. You'll get it pretty well even, but it don't have to be perfect. See, I went all the way around the design with that. Now I'm going to try to get an equal on the other side, about the same distance from the center as I did on that side. So I'm going to come over here to this side and eyeball it again and start me a mark down on this side. Come back up to my top and go down on the other side. Thank you, Betty. It's a simple project. It's just a little time, but it's not hard at all. A little easy one to do. Okay, now I've got a little line all the way down through there. Now I'm going to choose me a color, and I think I'm going to do something in the metallic. So let's see here. I've got a teal here. Let's see if I've got a paint. If I'm going to match, if I want it to be that teal on there, then I'm going to choose a color that pretty well matches. So this is teal in regular paint, and this is teal in the metallics. So what I'm going to do is take my metallic and mix a little bit of this teal, regular teal, in it. When I go to the store to buy metallics, I buy a metallic color, then I go to the regular paint, and I look for a color on the bottom that matches that one. Match it as close as I can. Or I'm going to use black. But if I want it to be that blue, then I need to keep it, you know, kind of in that family. And I think I can use that teal. That might not be a very good color, but we're going to try it anyway. I'm going to put out just a little bit of the teal, and then I'm going to put out a little bit of the teal in this regular color. They just happen to be called the same colors, but no, they won't usually be that way. Okay. Now I'm going to take my palette knife and mix some of that regular paint over in my metallics. That makes it so that it's not opaque. That makes it, so it's not transparent. You'll be able to paint it on there. Or you could put a coat of the regular on first and then a coat of metallic on top of it. We'll try this way first. And if it doesn't come out good, then we'll go back with a regular coat of metallic on top of that. Okay. So I've mixed those two together. Get me another brush. And it's got wild hairs all over it. Trim up that brush a little bit so it's not so wild. Now I'm going to go in with my brush and I'm going to paint right down where I put those lines. I'm going to come right down those lines. We'll have to put 2 coats, maybe 3, to get this to cover good. You could choose any color. You could choose yellow. Any color that's in that flower, you choose that, you know, would be good on this one. Hey, lady, how are you? And all the way around with it. Okay, now I've got that. I'm going to reverse it. And I'm going to come right around on the other side. Like I said, I'm going to put a bead in the middle, so I haven't worried about getting that little slot there. I should put some white in there. If it's going to be very big, I will go back and put a little bit of white in there and then cover it over. Because it looks like in some spots I'm getting a little bit on the wide. in the middle. See, now I'm coming down, putting that stripe in there. Okay, that is a little thick in the middle, so I'm going to go back in and paint me a coat of white down that middle. Just one little tab of white down through here. And that'll help to cover that up when I put the next coat on there. That'll cover that plastic coat, plastic line. I hope it starts warming up for everybody. Of course, I'm sure that the kids in the southern states have had a big time last week with the snow. Kids love that, especially when you don't ever get it. And you're in an area and all of a sudden it snows. That's a great thing for them. Hey, Cheryl. Do I have the Amazon mulberry package handy? I see several on there. No, Georgia, I don't. I'm out in my shop and my printer and stuff's inside, but I'll post you a link in here when I'm done. I'll put a link in here and, you know, for the paper, so you'll know what to get. It's a package of 20, but right off I can't tell you what it is. We'll have to look and see. Okay, now I'm going to go right back in with another coat of the blue. I put that coat of white on there. That's a whole lot different than the blue I've got on there, but I think I'm going to like it, because I could go back in. If you do this and you don't like it, you can always go right back in with another shade of blue. But I think I'm going to like this time I get the beads and stuff on it. I think it'll be okay. I just need to get enough paint on there. We're going to have to put another coat, maybe 2 more coats. See, we're in this part, and then we're right in here. And it doesn't look finished till we get all the beads and stuff on it. But we are, see, we're right in the middle there. Okay, now I'm going to dry that real quick and go right around with another one. Betty, this is a real simple trick. Once you do one, you'll be able to put all kinds of things on them. A lot of people do an Easter tree, you know, have an Easter tree in their house, so you can decorate a tree with these. Or you could put them in a wreath. They'd be pretty to do you enough to make a wreath out of them. Okay, we're back for another coat. Yeah, that one I think is going to cover it. Okay. Okay, reverse it, go around my other side, and I think I got enough paint on there. Okay, we got enough on it now. See? And that being metallic makes it shine real pretty. But I'm going to go in now. This first part, replay. Size of the eggs. And Cheryl, they are plastic. And I think this one is about a 4-inch one. You'll see different ones. I've got one here that's like a 6. See, this is a big one. They're on Amazon. They're plastic eggs, and they come in 2 pieces. So you'll see them on there different sizes. But this one's probably about a 4. See, this is just 1/2 of it. Okay, and you get, I don't know if I got 4 or 6 in a set. You buy a set of them. You don't buy them individually. You buy a set of them. Okay, now I'm going to dry that real quick. And I'm going to use some shimmer glaze on it. Okay. I'm going to use some white shimmer glaze from Pin Art. And I'm going to brush a little bit of that over the metallic color. Okay. Betty, the plain rice paper is not available. The kind that I use is not. I don't know what anybody else, but now the one I used for so long, and I still have quite a bit of it, because when I found it a year ago, when I started buying rice paper and was selling a lot of prints then, but I've quit printing to sell because I'm not going to be able to get that paper, and I don't want to use up what I've got. But I bought like 100 packages then, so I've still got quite a bit, but it's not available anymore. They just quit making it. Okay, now this is just Pin Art's shimmer glaze in the white that I'm using, and I'm just going to streak a little bit of it on here. Take a brush and streak it on here, and it's just going to put a little bit of glaze over top of that, just a little bit of shimmer over top of that blue. I'm just like kind of dry brushing it. I am too, Angie. Glad you caught. I'm glad to see you in here with us. I went all the way around it now with just a little bit of that white, just kind of hitting the high spots, not trying to cover everything. See, it just puts a little bit of a shimmer on it. I like that. Okay. Now, I want to varnish it before I put any of the beads on. So I'm going to use a brush-on varnish that I use all the time as soon as I find where I've set it. There's the satin. I don't want the satin. I want the gloss. May have to use that satin. See where I've put it. I'm probably looking right at it, but I don't see it. Okay, give me just a second here. Let me see. Okay, there it is. Okay, this is another Jo Sonia product. You can find her products on Amazon too. And I use her varnish in the satin and the gloss. I use both of those things. So this one I'm going to use gloss on. And I'm going to put a little bit out in the cup. I use these little old cups from the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to put a little bit of this varnish in my cup. Now I'm going to have to varnish it one side and dry it and then turn it over and varnish the other side, because you can't do it all at one time. And if you'll notice, I haven't worried about the plastic on the top of that, because I'm going to put a ribbon up there. If you were not going to put a ribbon, a bow that would hide that, then you'd need to paint that too. You could paint it. You can get some kind of little cap things that goes on that and all, but I put a bow on the top. You know, use the crinkle ribbon and put a bow on both sides of mine, so it covered that holder that's in there. And then I just used a piece of white ribbon to make my, you know, string to hold it by. So I'm going to put a little bit of this in my cup here and get me another brush. I go through the brushes big time. Okay, and I'm going to have me a cup. I'm going to try to hold it because I'm going to do one side at a time. You'll see this stuff is so pretty and shiny, and you'll see it immediately what a difference it makes. And I want to varnish it before. If you wasn't in a hurry to get it done today, you could spray it, but I'm in, I want to get it finished. So you could spray it out, take it out and spray it with the clear acrylic varnish too. But this is handy because it will dry real quickly with my dryer. Now see, you can see the spark. See how pretty that shines? And I've just put it on half of the egg. I'm going to dry that and then put it on the other half. You could crackle the inside if you wanted to use the fine line crackle. You could crackle the inside where the flowers is at. You could crackle that too. Got it dry enough to turn. I do. Okay, now I'm going to turn it over and do the other side. Okay. Betty, I've switched a lot of things to printing with the mulberry paper because of that. Some other people, use rice paper, and some share with you what they use and some won't. So, you don't want it's hard to ask somebody because sometimes they'll tell you and sometimes they don't want to tell you. So, but I've tried a bunch of different ones, and I've never found anyone as good as the one I had been using for so long. So I've just quit, I quit selling designs printed because I can't print them and replace my paper. Now I'm ready to put me some bling on this one. Got to find me something to set it in here. I think I might can set it in that. Okay. Now, I got bling a few weeks ago, and I got it in all different colors. I'm going to show you here. Let's see if I got some blue. May have. I got some purple. That's too purple. I ordered this from Amazon, and I got about 7 or 8 different colors in a package. I'll put a link in for it too because it's good. See, I got pink and the yellow, pink and yellow, and the regular, and I got a real pretty green. See, I got a green. See how pretty that is? It's hard for you to see that. I got a purple, but I don't have any blue. That's odd. Don't have any blue. I've got one here. So I got to choose one. I may just go with the simple. I've got a blue there, but it's more, that might work. That's more purple than it is blue. See what that looks like on there. No, I don't like that with that color. So I'm probably just going to have to go with the regular bling. How about this one? It's kind of a goldy. Let's see what this one looks like. I think I got like 7 or 8 rolls in a, in a package. Okay, I think I'll go with that one. Okay, so I'm going to use my 7000 glue as soon as I find it. I've just about finished a tube of this. I'm down to squeezing it out of the bottom. Okay, get those others over out of the way. Now that other egg was yellow and I had yellow beads, so that worked out really good. Okay. So I'm going to start right up here at my top. And I'm going to put me a little bit of glue. You can almost take this glue all the way around your egg. You've got time to, to get it on there before it dries on you. So you can just take your, I'm going to start down here at the bottom, and I'm going to make a line just about halfway around my egg of the glue. Doesn't take very much, just a little fine line. Okay, that takes it up about halfway. Now let's see if we can get it on there very easy. It glues down immediately, which is great because once you touch it, it stays in place. It doesn't move around on you if you're careful. So, I mean, the glue catches it immediately and holds it in place for you. That's what I like about this. Now I'm going to continue right on around. I'll put a link. Remind me if I forget to put all the links in there, girls. Just send me a notice and remind me. So I'll give you a link to the rice paper. And I mean, yeah, what you can get the rice paper on Amazon. I'll find a link to the eggs, where I bought the eggs. And I'll do the beads for you. Find the beads. Okay. See, I've already put one row around there. Got to cut that one. I've ruined my scissors. I cut stuff with my scissors, and then first thing you know, I'm having to buy new scissors. Because I mess them up cutting wire with them. See that glued down there? Very, very easy. And I'm going to put 2 rows. I want to put another row right beside that one, because it looked better with 2. I'm right back in, right in behind that row of beads, and I'm going to put another one. It needed that 2 to make it show up well enough. Okay. Peggy, I've got a link on there, but half the time it works and half the time it don't. You have to do so much before you can have an Amazon store, and I'm not sure if I do that or have that or not. So I don't worry about it. Okay, see how pretty that is? Beautiful. Now I'm gonna flip it over and do the same thing around on the other side. I'm sitting here thinking about what's for supper this evening. I think I'd like to have a baked potato. My girls cook, so they usually cook us when they get home. They cook for themselves, so I don't cook much anymore. About twice a week is all I cook. We have funeral at church. We had lost two people at church this week, passed away. And we have both funerals on the same day, so. I like the silver and the blue too. That goes on so easy that it's amazing. Once you get your glue down, it just pops right on there. Okay, got to put one more around through there. Then I'm going to put one down the seam, where the seam is in the egg. You need one on that seam too, to hide that. I'm going to have an auction next weekend, girls. These eggs will be in my auction next Sunday. Not this coming Sunday, but the 2nd, February 2nd, I think it is. It might be next Sunday. I don't know what the date is. Yeah, today's Monday, so I guess it is. I think today's Monday, ain't it? I lose all track of time. We missed so much school last week. The girls, I told them it was hard to go back to school after them being out. Ours missed a week of school because of the weather. Because here in Tennessee, we live close, you know, the mountains are around us, and when the kids in the mountains can't get out, then nobody goes to school. So the mountain, you know, was covered all last week. Okay, see, now we're going to put one right down the middle here now, just to hide that seam. Once you retire, time stands still. I would, Donna, if it wasn't for my kids. I have two granddaughters that live with me. So my son and his two daughters live with me, and they're in school. So I have to get Morgan, but now last week I lost all track of time because, like I said, they were off all week. And Maddie went to school. Maddie goes to college, and Morgan's a freshman in high school. So Maddie had to go. She just missed a couple days. They had online classes, but she had to go on to school. But that keeps me knowing the days of the week. I have to, otherwise you do lose track. You forget what the days are. And I have to keep a calendar to remember if I've got appointments and stuff. If I don't keep a calendar, I don't remember. Okay, now let's get this one started down. This one's going right from the seam, right over that seam in the middle. Okay. Oh, that is pretty. See that? See how pretty that is hanging? Now I'm going to go back in here and I'm going to put a little more varnish on my piece, and I'm going to put some glitter in my varnish. I'll show you how to do that. I like to use the glitter, or if you're, doing for yourself, you might want to use diamond dust. I don't use diamond dust for the simple fact that I sell everything I do, and you can't put something on Etsy and sell it with diamond dust on it and be safe with it, so I don't use it. Sometimes if I'm making something just for myself. But I do use glitter. This is iridescent glitter, and I'm going to put this in my varnish. So I'm going to take another little bit of varnish and put it in my little thing here, and I'm going to shake my glitter right into that varnish. This came from Hobby Lobby. It's Go Create. Now I'm going to put quite a bit. And this time you don't have to worry about varnishing. You're just getting some glitter on there. So I'm not, I'm not really caring where, I'm just going to put it where I want to hit the highlights. I don't have to worry that I have to cover everything for protection. I'm trying to find me a brush here. Okay. So I've got the glitter is in my varnish, and I'm just going to pick up some here with my varnish and paint it right back over the blue part, the flowers. You can put it as thick as you want it, as much or as little. I like it heavy on there. I like that really shows up good when you put that glitter on there. I put it on trays. If I'm doing trays with flowers and stuff, I put it on a lot of stuff. See, you can see, I think you can see the glitter in that. See if I can turn it to where you can tell the glitter. Okay, now, and can hold the middle, so I can just go ahead and do the other side too. If you wanted to crackle it now, do the fine line crackle, then you would have put the first coat of varnish on there and do your fine line crackle. Then you go back with another coat of varnish. After you get your crackle all finished, you have to put another coat. And it has to be it can't be a water-based varnish when you're using that. And I have found that spraying it works. The clear acrylic spray, I use Rust-Oleum's 2-in-1 spray in the gloss finish. And I can use it to cover my pieces that have done with the crackle on them. It works just fine. Okay, girls. See, that one's done. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tie a bow with you because you know how to tie a bow. But I did take a piece of white ribbon, just a little white, fine, I guess it's 1/4 inch. Put a little piece of 1/4 inch ribbon, and I put it down to where my knot was down here in the bottom, so that I don't have a knot in the top up here, okay? Then I made me 2 little bows, and I used that crinkle ribbon. I'll have to go through my ribbon and see what colors I have. I didn't have enough yellow to put that on both on the same side, so I just changed it. One, use the yellow and the green. But you can put your ribbons on then. You'll put them on and glue them on. See how pretty that is? Turned out really good. Okay? And you could do that with so many different, like I said, there's nothing, let's see, so when you mix your glitter with the varnish, does that keep, it doesn't come off with your hands. No, it doesn't. When that dries, that's on there to stay. That varnish does not, that glitter does not come off. No, it don't. Okay? Okay. So we got that. Now let's see if I can find a place to sit that one. I don't want to get it, I need something to sit it on that I don't, let me dry it real quick, and then I'll show you this other one that I'm working on. You would never know this is plastic. I've used that varnish for years, and I've painted a lot of wood. I've used it. And it's a water-based varnish. I'll put you a link from Amazon on the varnish too, if I can remember all that. But now I usually buy it a case at a time. I'll buy like a dozen of them, and when I do that, I buy it from Decoupage.com. They have a lot of good art supplies, and I'll buy 8 or 10 bottles at a time, so I don't have to go back and worry about it. But that is a really good. I like it. I use her sealer, her glazing medium, and her varnishes. All okay. Now. See how pretty it is? And know that that glitter does not come off. See, it doesn't come off in your hands. It's there to stay because it's worked into that varnish. So it's going to stay on there. Now I'm going to show you this one real quick. I'm not going to work on it, but I did get the clay on it. Okay? This is just one of the larger eggs, and it's on one of the smaller stands. And I've put the clay on it this morning, got all the clay. And I'm going to show you a new clay. Okay? If you haven't seen it before, I love it. I've been looking for something. I have trouble with the others cracking, getting a lot of cracks and stuff in it. So I had seen this one done, some of them using it on YouTube, and I thought, well, I'm going to give that a try. And the only place I've seen to buy it other than overseas is on Amazon. And it's called Hardy. It's Hardy Soft White. See here? And then when you get in it, it feels like bubble gum. It's so lightweight, so light. It's just like, it's like a piece, and it stretches. See, you can stretch it, but when you work it a little bit, and it goes into your molds so easy, especially these little small molds. Now see, all these little tiny molds like this either come from Amazon or Temu. Is where you're going to get them. You don't, they're not. And some of them are so shallow, they use them for cake stuff. They're so shallow you can't use them. I've tried and tried and tried. See, this one's very shallow, and it's hard to get your clay in there and get it to stay. But this stuff is it's so soft. But you want to work with it. And I put a little bit of, if it dries up on you, I put a little bit of hand lotion. I got a little bottle of just cheap hand lotion sitting out here. Just squirt a little bit on your fingers, rub it in your fingers, and then work it in your clay. And it'll loosen that clay right up for you. I did all these pieces this morning while I was sitting here today waiting to get online. I did all these pieces and put them on this egg. Okay? And this one, I wanted to just go ahead and put them because I'm going to cover it with metallics. I'm not going to worry about, I'm not putting any designs on it, no designs or nothing. I'm just going to use gold. Probably mix the black and the gold and paint this one in the dark shades. It's just going to all be dark. And then I'll highlight these with some waxes. And your clay pieces, the name of the clay is called Hardy, H-E-A-R-T-Y, Hardy, soft. It's wrote in Chinese. It comes from China. It's called Hardy Soft. It says extra pliable and feather texture, and it is. It is so lightweight. It's like playing with, it's softer than Play-Doh. It's like, I don't know exactly how to explain it, but it's so soft. And once it hardens, it dries in 15 minutes, which is another good thing. It dries for you in 15 minutes. And see, this has been on there, and it's already dry, and I had just finished it when we started things. So it's dry. You don't have to wait overnight for it to dry. It's dry in about 15 minutes. And I'm going to take a little, I've got a mold here, just a small mold, and I'm going to put a little bit of cornstarch as soon as I find my brush. Put me a little bit of cornstarch in this, and right down this. This is a real good little border mold. And like I said, some of these molds I got from Amazon. I'm getting a Temu order in today. Temu's a good place to buy little molds, small ones. Okay, now I'm going to roll this in just a rope. And I can put it in there, just a piece. This is another thing you can do. It's hard to do with other clay. You can take one little piece at a time. See when I pull that, how it stretches? Look at there. See how that stretches out after I've got it mixed up? It just stretches out, but it dries. And it's like marshmallow cream, but you can hold it. Not sticky. Marshmallow cream sticks to your hands if you try to do that. But if you did this to marshmallow cream, that's what this feels like. It's like marshmallow cream. Okay, now I'm just going to take a little tiny piece and start it in that mold. And you can piece it in, just keep it in your hand, and you can piece it right down that mold. Go right down through there. I showed it to my girls in my private class last week. It's just, you know, I love it. I've done so many things with it already. And I did this one. I did this. This is all done with that. Like I said, all the clay I put on that one, I did with it. You can just take it out a little piece at a time, just like pinching off bubble gum, and put it in your mold. Press it down in there and smooth it out. Now you can't take a palette knife and go down the edges because it'll all come right back up. It sticks together and it'll come right back up on you. But you can take your fingers and press it down. Try to get just the right amount in the mold. Don't have a lot of excess over the top, because you can't take your palette knife and go down it like this, like you can with the other clay. You can't do this. You have to just put enough in there to use. It's about $10 for a package. I don't know exactly how much is in it, but I've done a lot of stuff with one package, so it goes pretty good distance. I went right back in and ordered some more. And it's got some stretch to it. It doesn't crack. Wasn't bad to crack. When I'm putting it on something, it has a little bit of stretch to it. So you can kind of stretch it around the piece a little bit. And so far, I've not had anything to crack on me. Just go back and make sure you got all your little pieces in there, all the little spots covered. And then I'm just going to roll it out like we do the other kind. See how pretty that is? Look, see? And it's so soft, so pliable, so soft. And you could just put that, you know, I just glue that right around there. Wherever I wanted to glue it, I just put it on there and glue it. And in about 15 minutes, it's ready to paint. You know, it's ready. I can go right back in about 15 minutes and paint that. I don't have to wait overnight for it to dry. I set that there, my table's not level, but I like it. If you give it a try, you'll like it too. I just thought I would share that with you. Okay. Love the different size eggs. I do too, but be sure you put it back in. Be sure you put this. Just pull out enough out of the bag. I haven't had to close that bag. Haven't had to wrap the bag either. It's stayed pretty pliable. I've been using on this one about a week and just pulling out a little bit at a time. And then whatever I have left, I'll be sure and push it right back down in the bag. So, you know, and keep it down in there and fold that over. If you're not going to get into it for days, you know, if it's going to be a few days before you use it again, then I use the tape that we get, surgical tape. This stuff like they put around your arm when you get a blood test or something. I use that. Put that right around there. Close it in. You can buy this on Amazon too. You get 10 or 12 rolls in a package of it. Okay. Judy, it doesn't matter what brush you use as long as it's a soft brush. You can use any one. I just get one. The only thing is now, if you're going to do a lot of varnishing, if I was varnishing big pieces, I would keep a separate brush. If I was going in and going to varnish, I'd use a pretty good sized brush. Maybe one about like this, but this one's already, wore it out. But about 1.5 inch or 2 inch brush. And I would only use it for varnish. Keep it clean for your varnish. And after you use it, you need to take, after you get done with your varnish, you need to take it to the kitchen sink and put a little bit of dish detergent in your hand and a little water and work that into your brush and clean that brush out real good. Clean it and work that varnish, because it will dry up in your brush and you'll ruin a brush. You'll be using a brush every time if you're not careful. So just clean your brushes real good after when you go in. I use a water basin. This is what I work with, a water basin. See, my brushes is all in there. I put them all in the water, and then when I go in the house after we finish here, I'll take them all in, and that's when I'll clean my brushes then. But try the clay, you'll like it. The next piece we work on next week or next few days,